This is one of my favorite tips. You need this. Hey everyone, it's Sam from Blueberry Vintage Company. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new. Hello, good morning, good afternoon, what time is it? Okay, it's 10:26, so it's morning. So today I want to do a little tips on how to thrift, on thrifting home decor, a couple of tips on thrifting clothing items, but mostly tips on thrifting home decor. A little background. I'm a thrift addict. I'm obsessed. I go multiple times a week to multiple different places, and I live in Maine. I own a small business called Blueberry Vintage Company where I resell vintage goods, and we also flip vintage furniture. We refinish the furniture and reimagine it, if you will, make it look cuter, bring it back to life, things like that. So obsessed with vintage things. I just started a booth at an antique store, so I've been filling it with all sorts of treasures. After many years of thrifting, I've come up with a lot of good tips, in my opinion, so I wanted to share them with you guys today. But first, I'm a small channel, so if you do not mind liking, subscribing, following me on Instagram and Facebook and TikTok, wherever the heck you want to follow me, wherever you're on, I'm on there. All of my social media handles are Blueberry Vintage Company, so it would just mean the world to me if you did that. Let's get into it. Alrighty, I have everything written down on my phone in my notes. Let's start with number one. This is a big one. This is one that has taken me a while to master, and now that I do this, I have to do it all the time. So the first one is to go in with inspo pics or a mood board created. What I mean is you can go into Pinterest, which is my favorite thing to do, and create a mood board on, once you create your pin board, say you want to redo your bedroom, find pictures that you like of a bedroom. For me, I love cottage style decor, cottage style home. So I would look up cottage style bedroom and then pin a bunch of things that I like, put it all on a board, and then when I go to Goodwill or any other thrift store, I'm going to look for some of the things that I see in those photos. It sounds so simple, but I never used to do this. I used to just go in like willy-nilly, and I mean, sometimes I still do. We're going off vibes sometimes. I used to go in willy-nilly, get discouraged, be like, I just don't know. It's very overwhelming because you don't know what you're going to find. There's no like, oh, here are the brass candle holder section. Here's that section of the store. You don't know if you're going to find a brass candle holder. If you're looking for something specific, you're going to want to bring in a mood board. It really helps because you might not have been able to imagine that base, but once you have the mood board, you can, and then you know the pieces that you're going to be needing to look for. So please, bring in an inspiration pic, bring in a mood board. Number two, don't be afraid to repurpose or reimagine a piece. So for example, painting something. I just found these brass, well, they're not really brass. Somebody painted them a horrible brassy bronze color, like really cheap looking. They are two little horse bookends, and they're like ceramic. So my plan is to paint them. I think I'm going to paint them black. Once I paint them black, they're going to look insane. They're gonna look so good. They're gonna look like I got them at Anthropologie or something like that. That's another thing. If you see something that you like from like Anthropologie or World Market, something like that, bring that picture in. Maybe you'll find something and then you can redo it to look like that. That's like what we do with our furniture, is I find inspiration from other places and redo a furniture piece to look like that. So don't be afraid to do that. You can turn something that you see into something else. You can paint a candlestick, you can paint a lamp, you could put a new lamp shade on the lamp if you like the base of the lamp, but the lamp shade's hideous or it's missing a lampshade. You can repurpose it. You can get a new lampshade. Number three, you have to keep trying. You won't find something in one trip sometimes. Sometimes it takes multiple trips. Sometimes you have to go to more than one thrift store. Don't get discouraged by, I went and I don't find anything, or my friend always finds the best stuff and I never find anything. Listen, I find stuff because I go all the time. You have to go again and again and again. Sounds kind of psychotic, but that's the part of thrifting, is like you're hunting for treasures. It's not just out there for you. So that's part of the fun for it for me. It's my favorite thing to do because I like that thrill of like, oh my God, I found, this or that. And it's not just there for me. It's like when I go to Target now, I'm like, there there's the shoes. I know I'm gonna find the perfect pair of shoes because they're all right here. You know, when you go to Goodwill, it's kind of a thrill when you find like, oh, these are really expensive shoes and they're just here on this shelf with all this other junky stuff, and I found them and they're a good deal. So you have to go more than once. You have to go often. You just never know. They're restocking
while you're there.
So you could be there, whoa, these baby hairs. You could be at a thrift store and when you leave, there's new stuff. I'm telling you, you end up getting obsessed. Okay, number 3. Oh no, we just did number 3. Number 4, choose quality pieces. So if you are redoing a home, this is mostly for redecorating and things like that, for designing your home. You're gonna wanna choose quality things. Sometimes something might look really cute, but it's flimsy, it's gonna break. Maybe it's not even vintage, it's probably, you know, from Target or the dollar store or something like that. You want to choose something quality. So my big like quality items are something made of wood, ceramic, it's pottery, it's glass, things like that, like really quality, pewter, silver, things that are good quality. A wool sweater, that's gonna last you, okay? And those good brands, like if you're finding like an Ella Bean item, that's gonna last a long time, so it's worth your buy. Number 5, this is one of my favorite tips. You need this nowadays, okay? Because when you are going to the thrift store, I'm gonna name the big one, the GW, their prices are out of control a little bit. They've just gotten a little bit crazy. And so you need this one. You need to download Google Lens. You can take pictures of something in the store and it will tell you what it's worth, what it is, where it's from, how much it is, things like that. So if you're like, what is this? Is this rolling pin? Is this nice? You know, like, is this worth it? Like, was this from Target or was it antique? You know, and this is definitely old. Things like that. So when you look it up on Google Lens, it will tell you, it'll show you other pictures of that same thing, and it will show you where it's from. So you can be like, oh, this is a good deal. Okay, $10 seems like a lot, but it's really worth $50, so I'll buy it. Number 6, I kind of already touched on this, but do another lap around. You're gonna need to keep looping, keep going. You've went once, you missed something. I bet you did, because you didn't dig into stuff, you didn't look at the bottom shelf, you skipped over it. I bet you did. I do it all the time. So you have to do another lap. And like I said, they're unloading carts all the time while you're there. You might have missed something. I'm gonna give you thrifting anxiety like I have. I can't leave the thrift store unless I've looked around like 3 times because I'm like, what if I miss something? What if I'm leaving a treasure there? So always do another lap. Number 7, it's kind of similar to the other one, but go in with a plan or list. Maybe you don't have an inspo pick, but maybe you have a list, okay? So like, I really need to look for shorts for my son. If you don't have a list, I'm speaking for myself, but you'll go wild. You'll end up buying who knows what, and then you'll leave without what you wanted. Kind of like going to any other store. You need a list, at least to give you a guideline. Obviously, if you see something there that you love and you can't leave without and it wasn't on the list, you can buy it. I'll give you permission to buy it because you'll never find it again, so you have to buy it. But definitely going in with a list is so helpful because it really keeps you on track. All right, we are on number 8. Number 8 is check the men's section. This has to do with clothing. I got this in the men's section. I like clothes to be looser fitting. It's just my preference. I'm in my loose fitting era. I'm in my like J. Jill, old woman, coastal grandmother era where I want to be comfy, but I want to look like classic. I want to look chic. I want to look, I don't know. I'm also a mom. I'm 35. I've got to like transition, you know. I need to stop with like the, what's it called? Crop tops, you know. I need to move on. That was like pandemic era. I'm moving on to old woman era. Okay, so I like to be comfy, and I am a little bit plus size, so women's sections at the thrift store, typically the plus size stuff is
it's hideous.
Okay, most of the time it's like the stretchy jeans with like no pockets, like the, you know, the old lady stuff. I'm in the old lady era, but I don't want to be like nursing home old lady. I want to be like, I'm a cool old woman who lives in a seaside cottage, and I, you know, I have like the silvery hair and it's like perfectly highlighted, like a white streak, and I go to the farmer's market and like I have like a golden doodle or something. That's the vibes we're going for, and that's not typically in the women's section. Okay, so you need to go to the men's section because you can find the most comfy, best stuff, and it's usually really good quality. Men's section, you're looking for button-ups. Just have such a big selection of button-ups, and if you want a loose fitting one, go to the men's section. If you want a really comfy old man sweater, go to the men's section. Sometimes jeans, I still have a hard time with jeans because I have like a pear shape, so men's jeans just don't fit me very well, but I keep looking because I hear people say they're so comfy, but my size is yet to be found. So try the jeans. My favorite is like comfy t-shirts, graphic tees. They're just like, you gotta go over to the men's. Check out the men's if you haven't, give it a whirl. Number 9 is if you see a tear or a stain on something that looks fixable. If there's a tear that you think you could mend, it's very small, but you could mend it. If there's a stain that looks like it would lift right out to the heavens, it's gonna just come right out. Snatch that item, bring it up when you go up to the register, ask for a discount. I have never been told no, and they're not rude about it. They're not annoyed. They don't care. Like, they don't. Recently, I just bought an LL Bean sweater. It had a teeny little stain. I'm pretty sure I could get it out. It's on the back, so I honestly don't really care, but it was $10, and I said, there's a stain. Do you mind if I can get a discount? And he said, yeah, how about 6? So I paid $6 instead of 10. So always ask. Like, what are they going to do? Say no? So you don't get it, or you still get it, and maybe it will come out, but always try. Number 10 is to take off the book jacket from a book so that you can see if the binding is pretty, and you can use that for home decor. So I just bought a book. It's called, if you watched my last video you saw it, but it's Making Country Furniture. Here is the jacket, and it's not cute. So, but if you take it off, this is what it looks like. Fabric type binding and the gold letters, super pretty. And then you can put a little trinket dish and a plant, and voila, you have home decor. So, and so cheap. I think this was $3, and then I bought another book the other day for $1. So always check behind the book jacket to see what the actual book looks like so that you can use it for home decor. And another really fun one is our cookbooks, because you can use those to display on your shelves, on your counter, and that will be so cute. So always check that. Number 11, pick a scheme. Okay, sorry, this one's like a long one. It's hard to like come up with a little like catchphrase. I'll have to think of it. This one, number 11, is to pick a color scheme that you want in your wardrobe. So this is for shopping for clothes. Pick a color scheme that you're looking for. It'll make it so much easier when sifting through racks of clothing. I didn't used to do this. I would just kind of like look for something that I thought looked cute, or I don't know, it would take me forever to find clothes, and now I've got it down. Like, I can just go in, shoop, go right to the color section. At Goodwill, they always have the clothing, pretty much always, separated by color, so it makes it so much easier for shopping. I have recently switched my wardrobe. I am trying to just create like classic pieces, like staple pieces. That way, if like something's in the wash, like something's always going to match the pants to the top, they can all kind of go together and you can mix and match, and I don't need as much clothing. I've started looking for only blues, whites, creams, beiges, and black. So it's just very cohesive. They'll all kind of match each other. So now when I go through a rack of clothing, I can just go, okay, there's the cream. Let me look through that. I'm not going to be looking at any other color, you know? So it's easier. It's kind of a weird tip, but I hope that makes sense. Number 12, this is the last
Tip?
is check the carts as they're putting them away. You might think you're annoying them, but I've only had one bad experience where this girl was like yanked it away from me, and I was like, oh, sorry. So normally they do not care. I had a girl tell me the other day that it was helpful because then she didn't have to put stuff away if I grabbed it. So if you're at a thrift store and they're putting stuff on the shelves, check the cart that they're putting stuff away from, because that's the new good stuff that no one's seen yet. So always check the cart. I think that's all of my tips. I'm constantly coming up with more, so I'm sure to make another video, and please let me know if you want more. Let me know if any of these were helpful to you, and if you have any tips, because if you have a tip, I want to know about it, because I'm learning all the time. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to follow me over on Instagram, Blueberry Vintage Company. Bye guys.